Hello, welcome back. Thank you for viewing the video. I will go through the same thing again. And today, the video will be slightly longer because I will be talking about reflecting on the portfolio that we are holding. And if you can take action, then of course, it will be best for your future. For your consideration, just an additional information. So if you are interested, you can follow. If not, you can just skip. Okay, so back to the stocks highlighted. Here we have some of the stocks, and reflecting on those stocks that was posted, right? Starting from maybe um, last week, we have Venture, we have CapitaLand Invest, Seng Industry. Then after that, ST Engineering, SIA Engineering, Liangzijiang, Franken, Comfort Delgro, and today we have Seatrium and SIA. And I also have Keppel Cup over here. So some of you may be interested in this counter Genting as well. So we shall take a look at this counter. And this is what we are going to do now. Let's look at the charts of all these counter before I look at the index. Maybe that will be more straightforward because as you know, if you're monitoring the market today, the market is not very good, despite we have some positive action in the US and Hong Kong. But then Singapore market seems to be engaging on a selling spree. Let's take a look at Keppel Corp first. So we have Keppel Corp breaking out from 640 resistance over here, and it went as high as 650 or 649. Then after that, it start to pull back. This pullback, if the volume maintain low, it can be a healthy pullback. So no need to be too worried. Sometimes I receive calls, people saying that, wow, the market is not really good. It is not a time for you to look at the market. If you think of it as a healthy retracement for a longer uptrending movement, right? This could be pivotal and prove to be good. And what we need is that Keppel Corp can have a rebound and then break up from 649 to continue higher with the next higher high towards 678. So if this is the sign that we can get going forward, or these are the signs that we can get going forward, then it will be a bullish run for us, maybe even beyond 678. Then we have Seng Industry. So Seng Industry, we have been updating, and I've been highlighting that we have a hammer here, if you remember. And then this was the time where you get the confirmation, and Seng has rallied leaps and bounds all the way back to 525 resistance. This is a positive sign, and yet Seng has yet to announce result. So we'll be looking forward for a healthy pullback. It could be a flag pattern or pennant pattern, or it could come down to retest 498 as support and then rebound back up. So it could be hovering here and then just go up, or it could be just pulling back here then go up. So either way works, so it doesn't matter. So if we pull back to 498, it will even be better for most, because it can present another good trading opportunity for every one of us. Unlike this counter IFAS, where you just continue to go up every day without pulling back, and therefore limit the chance for people to re-enter. So this kind of rally is good for those who are holding it, but for those who are not in this counter, yeah, there are some things that maybe you are looking at. So sidetrack a bit. IFAS was not in the email, so we take note that no matter how good is the result, there will be times where the counter will stop its rally. So this was the part where it rallied strongly from 3 something all the way to 6. Then it pulled back to form a base before it start another run. So will it repeat the same thing again? There's a good chance for that. And we just need to wait patiently for those who are interested in iFast. For those who are holding iFast, congratulations to you. I wish that it can go further for you to take better profit. And then, of course, if a chance for you to buy back at the low, it will be even better. Next, coming back, we have this Capital Land Invest based on the email. Okay, so just a recap here. Capital Land Invest is here, then we have Venture and ST Engineering. Yeah. So Capital Land Invest, similar from this bullish piercing pattern that we highlighted, really all the way up. And I mentioned last week that it wasn't convincing on its upward movement until this long white candle happened. And it went leaps and bounds to as high as 313 before it's pulling back. And we have to take note how it pulled back. The volume so far is not as high, which is still healthy. So a healthy retracement is required for a longer run, as I mentioned. So let's continue to see how Capital Land Invest would pan out to be. The best is to hold at $3 and then rebound to form the next higher low, what we call the infancy of uptrend. And then hopefully it can get to 324. Tomorrow is their results day, and if the result is not surprising to the market, there might be a chance for it to continue higher. Then we have Venture will be interesting because as I mentioned, the Venture over here, right, it was highlighted in the email. Like I said, I mentioned it, and I targeted to hit to 1214, and you went higher. So going back to the part where I mentioned it, Venture 1214 was the target, and then 1246 was the resistance to meet if it crossed 1214. And what we have is that Venture went beyond 1246 yesterday and then touched 1265 before pulling back today. So again, right, this is just the beginning. So let's see whether is there going to be a longer term run, or this is just a short-term bounce and then pull back to go for a sideways. Recently, Venture got upgraded by some broker, and despite the result is not as fantastic as the market like, but the upgrade suggests that there might be some recovery going forward. So you can keep a lookout for that. Then we have ST Engineering. We have ST Engineering over here. In my email, I mentioned that it should break out 381 to continue higher to 398. So it went as high as 394 before pulling back. So we can see declining volume in its pullback. And although the volume is okay, but the magnitude of it pulling back is not as what we prefer. So hopefully it can hold at 381 and rebound from there for the higher low for it to continue higher. This is definitely one of the good point for it to rebound, okay, for it to go uptrend. And then we have SIA Engineering. Result was fantastic. So it was highlighted at this low, and immediately it gap out. There's no way to chase out, by the way. So it gap out all the way to this major resistance here, and it struggled at the resistance. Now it's hovering at 236, 237. And the chart very much remains in sideways. So if we cannot break out over here, then pulling back to fill out the gap may be inevitable. And retesting the support here may be possible as well if there's no strength for it to turn a trend. But the result is good. So it's just a matter of time. When the market is bullish, the counter will go back to its bullish way. It's just that now short-term market has some uncertainty in them, and I'm not too sure what is their uncertainty. Probably they are just waiting for that magical moment to come. But we should still continue to monitor those good result counter, because their values will be positive because of their results. Then we have next counter, it's Yangzijiang Shipbuilding. So Yangzijiang rallied strongly after posted in the email. So the email says that it should break out 150, and it did break out and hit the resistance at 155, and it also mentioned that it should break out 155, but it failed to do so. So it pulled back today to retest this low. Pullback volume not high yet. So again, it will be important for it to rebound from here to form a higher low. So if it doesn't, then the next will be 147, and if we rebound from there, it could be a sign of uptrend. So we need these signs to come to give us a more positive market going forward. So it's year end now, so we got to reflect on the possibility that the year end rally could happen, or even the beginning of the year rally could happen. Then Franken is very much in sideways, okay, over here, and you can take note that if this sideways were to continue, it should come back to test this resistance here at 119, and then once it breaks out from 119 resistance, then the whole major base over here will be a starting point for this counter to go uptrend. So if it turned out to be the base for this counter, then we will have a good rally coming towards 163 if this turned out to be the base. So watch for Franken, right, the 119 resistance. So if it doesn't break out from this base, it may just swing up and down from this range. The results, upcoming results, will be pivotal to its success. And then we have ComfortDelGro. ComfortDelGro is on a nice uptrend. So ComfortDelGro is on a nice uptrend, and yesterday it went up to close to its resistance at 136, but today it pulled back. But that doesn't matter. It's still very much in uptrend, and whether it can continue its uptrend depends on 136 now, because it need to break out 136, hit about 139, and then uptrend continues towards 149. Okay, then we have Seatrium and SIA. So Seatrium result was quite encouraging as their order went up, but today it fails to give confirmation to the hammer pattern. So we need the confirmation going forward, especially if Seatrium can continue higher to break out above this downtrend line, then there might be a chance for it to change its trend. SIA, gap up. So let's start with SIA's channel here. So in the email, I mentioned that SIA has an uptrend channel, and we need it to stay within the channel, meaning to say to stay within the channel, it got to move up to test 62, pull back. So the channel movement will be something like here, 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 then eventually towards $7. So let's see whether SIA can achieve that. But the result definitely is good. Last night it announced result, fantastic, paying dividends, redeeming bonds, and if this continue to be if the company continue to do this way, it definitely is going to do well going forward. Okay, so these are the stocks that was highlighted. Let's take a look at STI. STI today should be bad because all the banks lao sai. So all the banks does not do well. So we have a do not do well. So we have a pullback here. So hopefully this pullback is just one day, because if we see consecutive days of pulling back, SIA may not have strength, or rather STI may not have strength to continue higher. But then we all know like STI just swing up and down here. But eventually it turned out to be good. So it doesn't matter where it would go to, but most important thing is that if it turn bullish, our stocks will be bullish as well. So it is an indication, it's just a guideline. So if SIA continue higher, DBS rebound, UOB rebound, all those blue chips rebound, and of course STI will be doing well. But so far, we have a pullback, and this pullback not so worrying until we see STI go back to 3050. Then yeah, that will be something that we need to pay attention to. Then we have Seng, which trying to rebound. Right, trying to rebound over here. But we it's got to see whether it can sustain or not. If it can sustain, then you got to fill up this island reversal, which is an evening star pattern. And a good positive sign is to close to 18047 within today, tomorrow, or Friday. Okay, so that will tell us that Hang Seng can change a trend. If not, you will go back to its bullish way, or bearish way, I beg your pardon, bearish way to hit back this bottom. SPY or S&P 500 hit resistance last night. So it is still positive, as it's still on track, or it already exceeded my drawing. So there is nothing much. But this is just for you to reminiscent on the, the point where every week we track and then we see the reversal. So this is a true way for you to trade. So chart by chart, candle by candle, you find your success. Okay, so now at this resistance will be tricky, whether it will pull back, then rally higher, or you will pull back all the way, having a bad taste of the market, going back to its bearish rate. There are some noise in the market saying that the Fed will increase rate in January. This kind of noise will happen when the market is too strong, because they got to generate some bad news for the market to pull back. So to create some fear, right? And when this fear happens, market start to sell off, everybody join to sell off, then this is where the funds will be able to scoop low again, yeah. But then we got to just put ourselves tightly at the ground, right? Keep our footing firm, and then we shall see whether the resistance breaks or not. If the resistance doesn't break, then what's going to happen next? We will just resolve it step by step, trade accordingly. Okay, next is finally, right, as the year coming to an end, now it's November, next month will be December, and then 2024 will be right to us right away. So it's time for you to probably reflect on the portfolio, on the stocks that you are holding. And if some of the stocks that you are holding are not yielding any dividend or not giving you anything throughout the years, so you might want to consider changing it, restructure your whole thing, because there's no point holding to these losers if for many years they don't even recover, and they don't pay you any dividend. So from this Excel, I actually plan out, let's say you start to invest again. So you reset everything, you clear everything and start to reset again. So you start with a 50K fund, and then every year you top up 50K. okay, and you manage to invest into counters that gives you 5% yield every year. Okay, so the first year when you invested, of course, you don't get anything sometimes, because depending on when you enter the market. So let's assume that the first year 2024 you don't get anything, and you actually started with 2025, so you have an invested amount of 50,000. So plus the dividend 5% return 2005, you reinvest back to the market, and then you top up another 50,000. So the second following year 2026, you will have 102,500 invested, another 5% yield, you get 5,000 dividend return, and then you reinvest back and then top up another 50,000. So if you do that for the next few years to come, then by 2034, your portfolio size should grow to 630,000 thereabouts, and you are looking at a dividend return of 31,000 on 5%. So let's say you stop topping up, so you had enough, then by reinvesting the dividend itself to the market, okay, then you will find that you have invested 1.1 million, right, throughout the 20 years time. So this 1.1 million, if the market continue to pay you 5% dividend, you are looking at a 55,000 yearly passive income, okay, from the market. Now, the question here is that there will be a few questions. What people will be asking is that, will my value of 1.1 million remains, right, after 20 years, because the stocks may have crashed, some bad things may happen. So if you worry that might happen, of course, my previous videos, if you watched it on STI ETF, this has been proven for years that it is firm and tracking STI. So the assets are usually top class, and you will find that after 20 years, the STI ETF will be still there. It's just a matter of whether how much dividend yield they will be paying you, and how much is your passive income by the time when it hit 2044. Okay, so this is actually my view, where I will start investing altogether after 2044, and then I will collect this 55,000 to spend every year. Okay, so this will be my budget spending, because if I do not need to invest again, then I would just take this to travel around the world. Okay, so next is so with that so-called investment strategy in mind, so what will be the portfolio? So you can actually break it into a few lah. So I would have 3: defensive income, REITs, and dividend reinvestment. So the dividend reinvestment comes in every year based on the dividend you collected. So it may not be 5,000 at the start. You might be only having 2,500. So only 2,500 here. Okay. So let's say it's a beginning. So I start to build my portfolio. I will be looking at heavier weightage on STI ETF. So the fund size on the defensive will be the heavier weightage one. So will be, say, out of 50,000, 90% or 80% will be on this defensive income. So 40% will be on STI ETF, mainly just to collect the yield return, which is close to 5%. Okay, then deploy to the 3 banks, okay, which is 20% each out of the 40,000. So you make up to 100% of the 40,000 over here. Then to get some high dividend return, like for example, Fraser M&C is hitting about 6%. Netlink is about 6% return right now based on current price. So based on the REITs and business trust, I would put this mainly on REITs. Business trust is not so much. So Netlink is a business trust. So I only have one here. So based on this currently fundamentally good counters, okay, will be the mainstay of my REITs portfolio. Okay, so let's say fund size 10,000, then I invested this much on these counters, and then all these counters all together give me average 5% yield. So I will take this 5% either to reinvest into this list of counters that I have over here, okay, or I add on new counters but higher risk one. So the fund size is smaller, so I will take on smaller positions. So either you have Keppel Corp, or the others will include like Seng Corp. Those are good counters, which you are already having those because if you're holding STI ETF, you will be having all the blue chips. But if you like to invest more on the blue chips to have some exposure, you can use your dividend to invest in them, okay? Or you just simply split back to all these counters in this list, okay? So I'm doing this in a more flexible way, lah. So this dividend reinvestment, whether you want to put into existing counter or you want to go with some other counters that can give you some return but slightly higher risk, so it will be a portion of your portfolio size. So by the time 2044, you won't get too much of a surprise that your value of the portfolio will drop. Okay, so the overall portfolios will look like this if you really invested. So you have a good mix of counters, and these counters are typically good, and very little needs to do rebalancing. Rebalancing means that you probably find that this counter no good, you sell off and then you swap to another counter, or you reduce position on this particular counter and then you add more onto other counters, and all these are within your plan. So if you like, you should have an investment plan so that you know what are the counters that you are targeting, and you check their fundamentals every quarter. When they announce anything, you just check, make sure that they are still doing okay. Then all these counter in your portfolio, you track their yield, how much they are paying you every year in terms of dividend, then how much you save. Because for me is that this investment will be just part of my overall so-called finance, and saving will still be there. So how much saving that return can I get? You depend on Singapore saving bond. So I plan to have some on Singapore saving bond, T-bills. So the high interest, like I say, is not going to be there forever. So you need to have a balance. So just in case the interest rate come down, no more interest from the bank, then at least your dividend portfolio will help you to sustain. Then you have some insurance that to keep track your property. If you're changing property here and there, you have an Excel to keep track. Then your expenses. So you have all these keep track in one Excel. Then that's how you should enjoy your retirement life if you're retiring. Okay, so this is how I have for my future, and I hope that it can be beneficial to you as well. So thank you for viewing the video. See you again. Goodbye.